Does this strike today have the potential to lead to a wider, bigger conflict or a next step in all of this?
I think it has the potential, Jessica. You might see a pause in these talks. I don't know that you'll see the talks entirely break down because President Trump has made clear he wants to deal with Iran. And if you remember, Prime Minister Netanyahu came to Washington, said that he made the case that he wanted to strike Iran. And President Trump kind of smacked that down. And so he does want to have these talks. I think we also have to be clear. The Houthis clearly have this sophisticated missile and drone capabilities because they're backed by Iran. But I don't get the sense that the Houthis are subject to the Iranian direction in the same way as Hezbollah are. They are connected to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, the IRGC, who is not a fan of these nuke negotiations. So was this coming from Iran? Not necessarily, although there are some elements. So I think it's going to be very interesting. And I think President Trump is going to play this very carefully. I think the Houthis have really just been trying to signal to the Trump administration that they can still do this after coming under U.S. attack for weeks. The U.S. has been conducting these airstrikes against the Houthis to disrupt the capabilities. And despite those military efforts, the Houthis continue to do that, as we said.
And Elise, Netanyahu, also the prime minister of Israel, did also comment on all of this. And among other things, he said that there will be additional Israeli strikes on the Houthis. He alluded to previous coordinated attacks with the U.S. What is, do you think, and we may just not know, but what is the U.S. willing to do right now, do you think, when it comes to that?
I think they're willing to go all out on the Houthis. I don't think they're going to be willing to go out on Iran, despite what President Trump says. I think he wants to preserve the ability to keep that diplomacy going, keep a deal. Remember, President Trump campaigned on getting out of wars, and we're seeing all this chaos over the last week with Mike Waltz. Mike Waltz, as National Security Advisor, was very supportive of Israeli strikes against Iran. And obviously, Signalgate and everything else was one of the reasons that President Trump is moving him over to the United Nations, certainly demotion. But at the same time, he was coming to blows with people in the administration, this kind of America First crowd, this more restraint crowd that did not want to go to war with Iran. So I think it's all related. I think the U.S. will go, hog wild on the Houthis, but I think it's going to be very limited. And that might be how President Trump kind of soothes Netanyahu. Clearly, Netanyahu wants to go after Iran, but Trump is likely to say, I think, let's go together after the Houthis.